Open up, it's me, Blackie. Rise and shine, I got a little room service for you.
Here.
Move! Oh no, she's split.
Good morning.
Mrs. Baldwin?
How's my little man this morning?
Jason?
Huh?
Jason?
Of course, Jason. Hi, sweetie.
He's fine.
I should explain last night.
Oh, it's none of my business, Mrs. Baldwin.
Look, my husband's been a little tense lately, and, I apologize. We didn't mean to fight in front of you.
I was just concerned for the baby.
I know you were, and thank you for taking him over to your house. Is Mr. Baldwin around?
No, he left for the office some time ago.
Oh, good. I'll tell you what, you dress Jason, and I'll go have my coffee, and then we can all go for a nice long walk.
This early? Where?
To the bank. He can wear his new snowsuit, too. We're going to meet the manager. I have some business to discuss.
I got a new day.
If you're looking for some more coffee, I just made a fresh pot.
Heather, what are you doing here?
Couldn't sleep. What's your excuse?
For your information, I happen to be worried.
What? Big bad Scott Baldwin?
Hey, knock it off, okay?
Susan's giving you a real hard time, isn't she?
Yes. Yes, Susan has a new attack now. She's turning the screws with kindness, comedy.
You gotta find a way to squeeze her, Scotty. I mean, I don't think she's gonna let you near enough to do it.
If you don't have anything constructive to say, I wish you wouldn't say anything at all.
Scotty, I'm as worried as you are.
Well, with good reason, because by tonight, the bank's gonna know that I forged Susan's signature.
Correction. They're gonna know someone forged Susan's signature.
Yeah? And Susan's gonna go ahead and she's gonna press charges. This whole mess.
If only you had something on her.
What'd you have in mind?
Well, I don't know. Anything. Something to make her think twice about pressing charges. Some kind of counter threat.
Wait a minute.
You got something?
Get on the phone right now. Call the Quartermaines, all right?
Quartermaines? Why?
Just call them up. Get them over here. Alan, Monica, both of them, all right?
What for, Scotty?
Just make up something, all right? Just get them over here.
It's awfully nice to have a gentleman in the house.
The least I can do, you're driving me to work.
No, I'm driving you to work. Monica, could you please hurry?
Oh, pay no attention to the grump. As a matter of fact, he's usually the last one out the door.
Well, I really appreciate the lift. And the chance to socialize. Why, we've barely had time to talk.
Consider yourself fortunate.
My, we're in a charming mood this morning, aren't we?
Monica, all I need to do is just get out of the house. I have a clinic full of patients, and I have a full day ahead of me.
Well, as a matter of fact, my dear, we happen to be early. See what a fine influence you are on us.
We are not going to be early unless we get out of the house.
Alan, why don't you get a grip on it? We wouldn't want Grant to think that we carry on like this every morning. Now, do we?
We do. Let's go.
Oh, Lord, would you
Look, your father is having his breakfast in the living room. He'll get the phone. You see?
Yeah, come on, let's go.
Oh, wait.
What now?
My scarf.
Wait a
I forgot
second.
my
Now,
scarf.
is this it?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Thank you,
Yes.
Grant.
Allow me.
Well, yes. Thank you very much.
Could we please go?
Why, aren't we the soul of patience?
Alan, telephone.
Look, if it's the hospital, tell them we're on our way.
It is not the hospital.
Well, ask them who it is, and I'll call them back.
Why don't you take the call?
Yes, Alan. Why don't you take the call?
Why didn't you ask who it was?
Just pick up the phone.
Oh.
Listen, why don't you two just go and warm up the car?
Oh, well, we're not in any hurry. You just go ahead.
Hello?
Mr. Quartermaine, I'm so glad I caught you.
Who is this?
It's Heather. Didn't you recognize the voice?
What do you want?
Well, I'm calling for Scotty Baldwin. He'd like to see you in his office as soon as possible.
Why?
It's regarding Susan and her behavior.
That's not my problem.
Oh, I think it might be.
Would you mind being a little bit more precise?
Scotty will be when he sees you.
Where is he?
He's in his office waiting for you.
We'll be there as soon as possible. We're not going to the hospital.
What?
Do you have any surgery this morning?
No, I have paperwork.
Well, that's good. We're not going to the hospital. There's been a change of plans. Grant, would you do me a favor, please, and ask Leslie when you get to the hospital to take over the clinic for me?
Sure.
Alan, what's going on?
There's been a change of plans. We have to meet someone's husband.
Who?
You know who.
Oh, that person with that husband?
Yes, of course, him. Why do you have to see him?
I'll call a cab.
No, don't bother. We'll drop you off at the hospital.
You just said you weren't going to the hospital.
No, well, we're going to go right past it.
Did he move?
Who?
The person and the husband.
We're not seeing them. We're seeing him.
Oh, right. Yes, well, yes, of course. Yes, well, we don't want to keep you delayed. Let's get going, Alan.
Yes, goodbye, Father. Listen, don't worry about anything.
Don't worry. Might as well tell me not to breathe. Oh, good Lord, now what? Oh, it's you. Well, it's about time. Get in here. Did they see you?
No, I waited till they drove off. Don't worry.
If one more person tells me that today, well, never mind. What brings you here?
I've got news.
You know, well, considering the risk you took coming here, it better be good.
If you're worried about that Baldwin lady, forget it. She reads like a book.
Yeah, well, you must have skipped a couple of pages because she sure isn't buying your ultimatums.
I didn't think she would.
Well, then why did you run the risk? She was mad as hell when she came here. We had a house guest. She could have blown the whistle on us right then and there.
Oh, she's not that dumb. She has something here to protect, too.
Oh, yeah, $2 million of my bucks.
We've got to move on to the next step.
Well, if she's going to catch you at it again, I don't want to hear about it.
Oh, not to worry. I'll be my most careful.
All right. What is the plan?
You've heard of the fine art of burglary, no doubt.
Yeah, it's a common crime, but hard to prove.
Especially if the perpetrator comes prepared.
You comfortable?
When I was sleeping, which wasn't very often.
Yeah, I know. I think that the guest bed was designed so as not to encourage long stays.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. I mean, I can live with it for a day or two, till we move into the new place.
I guess that'll be a while, huh?
Not at all. A few days at the most. Look, I know you hate this place. And believe me, if there was any other way, any other place we could have gone, I'd have fixed it.
No, I'm just being silly, really. You can't live with ghosts your whole life. Oh, I didn't mean that...
I know what you meant.
No, Robert, sometimes I think I'm just feeling too sorry for myself. Now that we're in this arrangement, I'm not going to keep being sorry for myself. I'm going to try and be a little more understanding, because I don't want you to be unhappy.
Well, you know how you can kick that off? First, eat your eggs. Secondly, stop telling me what you're worrying about or what you can and cannot say. Eat up the eggs, otherwise you eat out in the balcony. I guess the first thing on the agenda today should be to tell everyone about the marriage.
And I suppose we could do it by mail.
Hardly. We have to face them.
Yeah, starting with Bobbie and Ruby.
Look, I can look after that if you like.
No, that's my responsibility. You have her own to worry about.
Jackie.
Now, then there'll be the others, Blackie and Rose and Tiffany. There's a long list.
There's something else. We can't tell them it's Luke's baby.
What? You gotta be kidding.
We have to tell them that the baby is ours.
But I couldn't. That would be like betraying Luke.
I know. But it is the only safe way to convince the immigration department that this is a sincere marriage.
I'll have to think about it.
There's nothing to think about. This is the way it's got to be done.
Robert, I've gone along with you on everything else, but this is different.
Look, do you think I want to go? Do you think I want to do it this way? People not telling people?
No.
I would love to tell the truth. That it's Luke's child. He deserves it. Child deserves it. It's the only solid thing he left behind. One of these days, we can tell everybody. But at the moment, the first priority is keeping you in the country.
Well, at least I'll know that the baby is Luke's. So will Bobbie. And so will Ruby. They'll just have to keep it to themselves.
And so will Luke. Wherever he is.
You guys are in luck. I got a pot of fresh perk for you.
I drove 20 miles out of my way for a cup of your coffee, Rosie.
I know you keep talking like that, and you just might get some free donuts, huh?
Gotta find space for them. Hard to turn down donuts.
Ah. Will you guys take care of your own refills
Sure
for me?
thing.
I'd really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Robert, I can't wait to talk to you. What happened?
Everything's okay.
Ah, what a relief. I mean, I was going crazy out of my mind waiting to hear from you.
Well, sorry, Rose. I had a few things to attend to.
You should have saved me. I was up all night waiting for you to bring Holly back here. Whoops. So now, did she get mad because I gave you the note?
Wasn't time.
What do you mean there wasn't time? Did they send her back?
No.
Don't tell me they...
It's all right. She's here safe in Port Charles.
Well, thank heavens for that. Now, how did you stop them?
Only thing I could do. I married her.
Come again?
Holly and I were married at City Hall yesterday.
That's what I thought you said.
It's a bit of a shock, I know.
She told me you'd asked her. I just really never thought.
Yeah, well, see, as my wife, they can't deport her.
Gee, I don't know what to say, I guess.
Well, it was done for her protection.
Yeah, to be, Mrs. Robert Scorpio?
Sounds a bit weird, I agree.
Yeah, it does. But we'll get used to it, I guess.
Yeah, we'd better get used to it. Because if the immigration department decides that this is simply a marriage of convenience, which of course it is, she's going to be on the next plane out of here.
Then all I have to say is, best wishes, Robert.
Oh, what a feed.
Yeah, but we better roll.
Well, I'll leave the money here. So long, Rosie. Money's on the counter.
Okay, Mike. Thanks a lot. You guys come back real soon. Robert, I think you did a good thing.
Thanks, Rose. I somehow don't think everybody's going to think quite the way that you do.
Well, if they're friends of Luke's, they will.
Hey!
What's the matter?
She just swiped the money, those guys. I'm going on.
Wait.
Rose, she just swiped... Oh,
Wait, she's... Let it be, Robert.
Rose,
She was wearing a blanket, for heaven's sake. She's got to be pretty desperate, right?
I don't believe this. There's a crime wave right under the nose of the police commissioner.
Annie stuff, Commissioner.
Crime is crime.
Yeah, well, you go after the big guys. I probably would have given the poor thing a few bucks anyway.
Look, come off it, love. This is a dangerous precedent you're setting here.
Let it alone.
Darling, she could be ripping off every shop in the area.
Look, first of all, there aren't that many of us left down here, and we know how to handle it, so just relax.
You guys doing fighting or something?
Good, just in time. Maybe you can sort this discussion out. Now, tell me, if somebody rips somebody off, shouldn't they be reprimanded for it?
What are you guys talking about?
Some girl just walked in here and swiped some money off the bench here.
Girl, what's she look like? Blonde hair girl?
Well, I don't know. I didn't get a good look at
The
her.
poor thing had a blanket wrapped around
She
her.
had a blanket. Which way did she go?
That way. What difference does it make?
Stay put, Commissioner. I think I might find this girl. You'll get your money back, I promise.
Hey, what do you know? My first deputy.
Have you told anybody? I mean, about the marriage.
Well, Holly's telling Ruby and Bobbie today.
Mm-hmm. And Jackie?
Not yet. I thought I'd practice on you first. Thanks for making it easy.
Well, good morning, Dr. Putnam. You're early.
Yes, I got a ride from the Quartermaines.
They haven't checked in yet.
No, they'll be in later, I guess.
Gas, don't you know? I thought you just said you drove over with them.
I never know what's going on with them.
Join the club.
Strange people. Perhaps I should say interesting.
How do you like living with them?
Never a dull moment.
Oh, Holly. Jesse, would you excuse me for a minute?
Yes, don't go too far.
I won't. Holly.
I have the most wonderful news.
I have something to tell you, too.
I found the most adorable apartment. It has 2 bedrooms, and it has sort of a little dinette.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's important that I talk to you and Ruby at the same time.
Oh,
Sure. Jesse, would you do me a favor and page Ruby?
yes, of course. Thank you. We'll be in the lounge. Anyway, this apartment has a perfect little dinette that can be converted into a nursery. And Ruby has a neighbor, Mr. Kaplan, who knows this carpenter. And he can put up a wall and block out a side so we have perfect nursery. Now, it's not going to be that inexpensive, but I think we can swing it. And it has beautiful, bright, sunny windows.
Are you looking for me?
Well, that was quick.
Darling, I was just around the corner. Did you tell her our good news?
Yes. I have to talk to you. The day before yesterday, an official from the immigration department came to see me. He gave me 24 hours to leave the country.
Why didn't you tell us right away?
I didn't have time to think. It all happened so fast. The man had me on the plane. I was frantic.
My goodness, Holly, there might have been something we could do to help.
Well, somebody must have. You're here. What happened?
I hope you understand. Robert married me. The mayor cut through all the red tape. We were married late yesterday at City Hall. There's more.
I don't know if I want to hear any more.
Go on.
It was just a marriage of convenience.
Well, what else could it be?
As the wife of an American citizen, I couldn't be deported.
You did it so you and Luke's baby could stay in this country?
Right. But here's the worst part. No one, except you and I, for now, must know that I'm carrying Luke's baby.
What?
I know it's to keep the immigration department from realizing that the marriage is just in name only. We have to pretend that the baby belongs to Robert.
No. No, I can't let you do that.
I didn't think I could either, but we must.
No, you cannot do that to Luke.
Oh, please understand. I'm not doing it to hurt Luke. I'm doing it to protect his baby.
I don't understand. I don't understand anything. First we lose Luke, and now we have to deny his baby.
Not deny it, protect it.
Ruby, maybe it's a good idea. I can understand what she's saying.
It's only an arrangement. It's Robert's way of taking care of the people that Luke loved.
What irony. First we lose Luke, and then there's his baby, and nobody can know about it.
In time, they can. Just now, it would jeopardize everything.
So he won't be a Spencer?
Yes, he will. He will, inside where it counts.
OR 10, stat.
I have to go.
Let's be grateful for one thing. The baby is not going to be illegitimate, and the baby will have a mother, and the baby will have a father and a name. Even if it's not Luke Spencer's name.
He's a bright little fella. Seems to like desks.
Yes, he's making short work of yours, too. No, honey. Mrs. Bowman, would you take him outside for a minute?
Certainly.
We need to discuss
Come
some
along.
business. Go
Come
outside for a
along,
minute,
Jason.
sweetheart.
Here we
We'll
go.
play later,
Here we
okay?
go.
Come on. Yes. Okay. Mommy will be out in a minute.
Here we go.
Excuse me. I wanted to ask you a few questions about the supposed conversation we had the other day.
Of course.
Okay, you said that I told you it was okay to give Scott power of attorney back.
That's right.
And also that it was all right to invest Jason's money in the mall.
I made a direct point of asking you, and you said yes.
What else did I say?
Well, actually, I did most of the talking, but to every question you responded positively.
With a yes.
Correct.
Did it sound like my voice?
Well, I must admit, one-word answers don't give you much to go on. I just assumed that I was speaking to you because your husband dialed the number.
I don't mean to give you a hard time, Mr. Carlson, but are you sure it was my number that he dialed?
Well, he said a few words to you first and then handed me the phone.
Yes, very nifty setup. I'm not surprised that you fell for it.
Well, Mrs. Baldwin, I prefer to reserve judgment until after the experts have ascertained whether your signature was a forgery.
How long will that take? I'll wait.
Well, there's no point to that. It could take several hours. I assure you I'll notify you the minute they're finished.
Please do. Even though I know what they'll find, Mr. Carlson, I assure you that once it's verified, there'll be hell to pay.
Which way to the bus station?
Right this way.
Thank you for coming.
There better be a good reason.
That'll be all, Heather.
Coffee, anyone?
I don't think we'll be staying that long.
That's okay, Heather. Would you sit down?
You know, as Monica said, we don't intend to stay.
Hi, listen, I think there's some things we got to talk about.
I can't imagine, Scotty, you saying anything that would be of any interest to us.
Monica, we haven't been on the same side in the past.
Oh, come on, Scotty. Get to the point, will you? What is all this nonsense about Susan's erratic behavior?
Susan is affecting your family, and I have a lot of respect for your family.
Cut the bull. You have respect for my family's money.
All right, I'll put it another way. Susan's trying to destroy you. I'm not going to sit by and let that happen.
Scotty, Susan has tried to destroy us before. She's always failed.
But she has a good shot at it this time, Monica. If you want to know how I know that Susan's squeezing you, your mother told me.
She what?
That's right. She wanted me to talk to Susan and try and influence her out of it. And I tried to talk to Susan, but right now Susan is not an easy woman to deal with.
Well, she's going to cave in. Just give her time.
How much time is she giving you?
I really don't know what you're talking about, Scotty.
All right, Monica, look, I need some information. I can't stop Susan unless I know what she's trying to do.
Well, didn't Lila fill you in?
I thought it was best that I hear it from you two.
What, so you could influence Susan? Ridiculous.
Alan, your mother had confidence in me.
Obviously not enough to give you what you wanted, though.
Look, I am just trying to help, okay? Now give me a chance.
Scotty, the only person that you are working for or against is Susan. You don't plan on doing anything for the Quartermaines.
I can help you, Monica, if you let me.
I think we'll rely on our own resources. Shall we go?
With pleasure.
Good Lord! Don't go in. Stay back with the baby. Gone. Money, jewelry? They stole it. No, papers. They took them.
Well, call the police.
No, no police is going to get into this. They're not going to get away with this. Nobody gets away with this.